Hi. In this video, we will learn about modifying and pivoting fields in pivot tables.
Now let's look at how we can modify our pivot table. So this is the current pivot table we have. And we mentioned at the beginning that pivot tables don't update automatically when the source data changes. So here, if I go to my source data and do some changes here, our pivot table will not automatically update. So we can check that by changing one of these values. Let's say we have now, so here we got the sales at the moment. So let's have a large sales value for one of these items. So I will change this to 1 million. So now each region has a 1 million sales value for one of the items. So if I go to the pivot table, I don't see a 1 million value over here when the total is less than the 1 million. So this is just the original value of the pivot table. So I need to refresh my pivot table. So to refresh my pivot table, one way is I can come here and do a right click inside the pivot table and click on this refresh over here. Or I can go to pivot table analyze, and here under the data section, I have refresh and refresh all. So from here I can refresh all, so everything will get refreshed. Or I can just come here and do a refresh from here. Now I see the 1 million has come into the East region under Smith. So that is the value I added to Smith, this 1 million value. So I will undo this. So I come to the original value. So every time your data changes, you need to remember to refresh your pivot table to update it to the new data. Now at the moment in our pivot table, what we have is only the sales values. So if I want units values also, I can just click on that and it will get added on to the value section. Now I see for each of these salespersons by region, I get the sales as well as the sum of units. So both of these are available. And you will notice that I see, and also you'll notice I get first the sales and then the units. So if I want to change the sequence and have units at the beginning and then sales afterwards, I can just drag and drop sales down, and now the units is on top, and on the report also units appears on the first column. Then you get the sales. So the sequence you can change from here. Now in your pivot table, you would have noticed you get this heading, sum of sales, sum of units, and so on. So that looks odd, and maybe you want to just have sales or units there. So what you can do is you can change these. Just select one of these headings, right click, and then go to value field settings. And here under custom name, we can change that to sales by deleting this sum of part. And then you can say okay, but allow you to do that because you already have the sales field in your data. So what you can do is you can do a bit of a change. Let's say sales total, and then say okay, and see everything has now become sales total. And you can do the same thing for units, sum of units. Come right click, value field settings, and you can say you change it to units total or total units. and we get that change as well. Now we got the sales report by each of these salespeople. So let's say we want to have the product also in addition to the sales rep. So we can select product from here. It got dropped into the rows. So now we have the sales report by sales rep first and then by the product. So if you want it the other way, you want it by product first, you can just drag and drop sales rep down, and now you get by product and then within product by sales rep. So you can easily modify your report by changing your row fields. And there's another field that we have not used in this is called filters. So basically the filter allows us to filter out our report or the pivot table by certain fields. Let's say we want to filter our report by customer. So we can click on customer and then customer dropped here, but we can drag and drop it into the filters. So now we have basically applied a filter and it appears here. So at the moment, if I down click, you see all the customers are here in the list in the filter over here. So let's say I only want Aero customers details to be seen. I can select Aero and say OK. So now it's showing here Aero only. So only Aero customers details are in the pivot table. And if you down click from here, you can select multiple items by ticking over here. And let's say I want Aero and Alpha and Beta. So I select only those three and say OK. So now here it says multiple items, and this report has data for those three products only now. So basically you can use the filters to filter your report or pivot table by certain fields. But this filters option is basically now outdated. There's a better feature called slicers that we can use. So we will cover slicers in the next lesson. So let's remove the filter out like this. So the slicers is basically much more user-friendly than the old filters, but the filter feature is still kept in Excel for backwards compatibility.
Thanks for watching.